In the heart of Africa lies a vast land known as Sudan, a nation brimming with ancient history, diverse cultures, and breathtaking landscapes. However, beneath its serene facade, a recent chapter in Sudan's history has been written in blood. A conflict that has left scars on both the land and its people. Sudan finds itself embroiled in a devastating and unending war that has wreaked havoc on its people. For the past 3 months, the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces, Janjaweed, have been engaged in a brutal, deadly conflict, leaving a landscape of destruction and disappearance, suffering in their wake, and the nation torn apart by a relentless and unending war. Amidst the chaos, innocent civilians have borne the brunt of the violence. Homes have been reduced to rubble, and once thriving communities now lie in ruins. Families have been torn apart, and the very fabric of Sudanese society is threatened with each passing day. The majestic Nile River winds through arid plains, and communities come together to celebrate traditions. But amid the tranquility, tensions simmered, and the stage was set for an imminent storm. The once allied Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces are now divided by ideology and ambition. As the conflict escalated, loyalty to their respective causes pushed them to the brink of confrontation. The fallout from this division reached far beyond the ranks of soldiers, spilling into the lives of innocent civilians. As the war rages on, the Sudanese people have borne the brunt of its atrocities, homes reduced to rubble and livelihoods shattered. The once thriving villages have been reduced to ashes, and innocent civilians have become collateral damage in this brutal fight for power. Women have been subjected to unspeakable horrors, become victims of systematic rape and violence, and their lives are forever shattered by the brutality of war. Innocent lives have been taken, and the cries of grieving families echo across the war-torn land. As thousands sought refuge in makeshift camps, far from the safety and comfort of their homes. Each face bears a story of loss, resilience, and hope for a better tomorrow. Amidst the chaos and bloodshed, soldiers found themselves thrust into the crucible of battle, a place where valor and fear, conviction and doubt clashed in a relentless struggle for control. Faced with the imminent danger of death and destruction, countless Sudanese citizens have been forced to flee their homes. Many have sought refuge in neighboring countries such as Egypt, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Chad, the Central African Republic, and South Sudan, desperately trying to escape the clutches of death. The journey to safety is fraught with danger, and the hardships faced by those in exile are immeasurable. Moreover, within Sudan itself, internal displacement has reached alarming levels. Families have sought safety in other regions of the country, away from the immediate dangers of the conflict. However, the challenges of finding shelter, food, and security persist. With the escalating violence, humanitarian aid has struggled to reach those in dire need. The international organization's efforts to provide assistance have been thwarted by the relentless fighting and the inaccessibility of conflict zones. Hospitals, once beacons of hope and healing, exacerbating the crisis, and now stand as haunting reminders of the war's devastation. Many of these vital institutions have been targeted and destroyed, leaving the wounded and sick without proper medical care. The education system, too, has been shattered and suffered immensely, leaving the younger generation without access to knowledge and opportunities for a better future. Schools have been destroyed and teachers have fled for their lives, leaving an entire generation's potential untapped. And the dreams of a generation are dashed as children are denied the opportunity to receive an education. The loss of education is not only a tragedy for the present, but also a setback for Sudan's future. However, brave Sudanese medical and educational staff, as well as the domestic humanitarian organizations, ventured into dangerous territories, delivering much-needed aid and medical care to those affected as well as education. In parallel with these endeavors, the international community recognized the urgency of the situation, pushing for peace through dialogue and negotiation. The resilience of the Sudanese people comes to the forefront and shines through as they continue to support each other. They stand united against the onslaught of violence. Local communities and grassroots organizations are working tirelessly to provide aid and support to the displaced and vulnerable. They unite in peaceful demonstrations, demanding an end to the violence and a future built on peace and unity. Yet, amid the despair, there are glimmers of hope. The untold stories of Sudan's struggle for survival must be heard, and the voices of the oppressed must be amplified to bring about meaningful change and an end to the cycle of violence. Only through collective action and compassion can the Sudanese people hope to rebuild their nation and find a path toward a brighter future. While the war continues to take its toll on Sudan, the world must not turn a blind eye to this humanitarian crisis. The international community must step up its efforts to bring about peace, stability, and much-needed aid to the suffering population. The war in Sudan has caused immeasurable suffering, and the humanitarian crisis is far from over. Despite the devastation of war, hope persists. Communities come together to rebuild, heal, and forge a path toward a brighter and more peaceful future. As the sun sets over the Nile River, casting a golden hue on the horizon, the echoes of Sudan's recent war linger. But so too does the hope that one day those echoes will be replaced by a symphony of peace and progress. Despite the unspeakable horrors they endure, the Sudanese people remain resilient. In the face of adversity, they come together to support one another, showing the strength of their collective spirit. This has been the story of a nation grappling with its darkest hours, striving for reconciliation, and embracing the promise of a united and peaceful Sudan. The stories of survival and hope are not always heard, but they are woven into the fabric of Sudanese society. Such untold stories of Sudan's struggle for survival must be heard and shared. The international community must heed the call to action and increase efforts to bring about peace, stability, and much-needed aid to the Sudanese people. The world must bear witness to the horrors of war and extend a helping hand to those in need. Only through collective action, compassion, and solidarity can Sudan begin to heal and rebuild, and its people find a path towards a brighter and more hopeful future. Despite the unspeakable horrors they endure, the Sudanese people remain resilient. Amidst the darkness of war, acts of courage and compassion shine through, a testament to the indomitable human spirit.